Congratulations, Stephanie. I loved it. Luis, signed up a new brand partner out of town. Really? That's amazing. Ah, I love it. Farah says, with no makeup or hair done, that's pretty difficult. You get response yet, but you did it anyways, right? I love it. Good. Oh my gosh, this is cool. Jane connected with 6 folks and 3 a.m. Continue the conversation. No excuses. I don't have internationals, right? So, wow. I know, right? Bad hair day, no makeup, and for some reason the sound didn't work. You're getting practicing. It's good to know we're not the only ones getting massive technology problems, right? We're all in the same boat together. That kind of feels a little bit better. So congratulations, all of you guys, for chiming in and letting us know what you guys have been able to do. This is the main juice of the boot camp, right? Is actually taking the time to implement what it is that we're walking you through as building blocks. You guys, you know, we're going to make sure that we tie it all together. So all of the things that we are training on kind of are building blocks on top of each other. So right now, we're going to dive more into what to post on social media to get business interactions happening. But really what's happening is we're making sure that we're, you know, getting the conversation started. And then the next part of getting the conversation started, doing the marketing and then getting the people, getting the conversation started. The next building block is knowing what to do with the people that you're starting these conversations with. And I want to just share before John comes in, and John's going to do a really crazy, awesome power session on something that we call our ATM strategy. And even if you know about the ATM strategy already, this is kind of going to be an advanced version of the ATM strategy. So you really want to pay attention if you think that you have heard it before, because there are some nuances and some little things that you can inject into the ATM strategy to make it work even better for you and for me. And we'll tell you what the ATM strategy is. If you don't know what that means yet, that's fine. We're going to go over that. But with part of what this strategy is allowed for me and my business is ultimate leverage and duplication. I've never seen our team duplicate as fast and as in such a powerful, fast, efficient way as having the system in place, and also leverage, massive leverage for me, because like I was saying before, you guys, I used to have to do 45+ minute 3-way calls or conversations with people on the phone, talk to them about, you know, and they're wondering, does this even work? Really, there's so much social proof and power in this presentation strategy. So ATM is a strategy that we refer to presenting and getting the information about your product, service, or business in front of your prospects. And so there's different facets of it, different things that we've learned along the way, using it for many, many years in our business now. So what I want you guys to do in this session, make sure that you're ready to take some notes. We have the downloads ready for you guys too, that are getting uploaded if they're not already. I think they're already in there in the units section for TM strategy. You're going to want to print out the scripts. You're going to want to use them as well, along with the strategy that John's going to train on. So, and then just instruct me on, you know, the slides as well, because I'm going to be manning those for you too. But actually, I just want to say I'm grateful for learning the ATM strategy actually from Jan and Nadia, because without them, I would not have known the strategy had ultimate duplication in my business. So you guys pay attention and take some notes.
Yeah, it's going to be off the hook. I'm really excited. And I know some of you had questions about the replay. Some of you didn't get the replay option, and I know we wanted to mention that. So if you wanted lifetime access to the training that you're getting, I'm sure we would all agree the value is already incredibly invaluable, and we're just getting started. I mean, we're only through the first half of the first day, and we still have all day tomorrow, and then you've got the rest of the documents that are going to be uploaded in Unit 1. Long story short, the link for that, I believe, will be posted. But Tanya, also, if you want to maybe share that, Can't remember what it was.
Yeah, we'll put it in the announcements area. We'll have our team, our core team throw it in the announcement section, see if they might want to make a good idea note or implement ASAP note to get the recordings if that's something that you guys want to do.
Yes, yes. And I'm just really excited because I think this is going to be an important conversation for all of you. And I see so many of you are having breakthroughs, aha moments. I know a lot of you are, doing your first video, you're doing your why video, you're putting out posts, you're reaching out to people. And I think it's such a great time for all of you to really maximize the fact that people are at home right now. Laura says, someone just told me they didn't have $500 to invest in a business because they're broke. And it's interesting because I think right now you're going to get a lot of people that are concerned about their financial situation. They're concerned about, the economy and different things. Maybe they lost their job. But when someone says they don't have the money, or someone says, right now is not a great time, or they're afraid because of their job, I think that's all the more reason for them to get started. And throughout the rest of today, we're going to talk about ATM. We're going to talk about how to do group chats. We're going to talk about follow-up and close. We'll help you with some of the objections that you're getting, some of the questions you're getting, how to overcome them. I know Tanya talked a little bit about that, actually using stories. And, as Navia would say, she would refer to it as removing the stick out of your butt. And sometimes we just got to have fun, right? That's really what that means, and not to be so stiff and so uptight and, so businessy, right? Sometimes when we're a little too businessy, it can actually turn people off because they feel pressured, or they feel like you're just trying to make a buck, or you're trying to sell them. So we really got to remember, people buy and join based on emotion, based on feeling, and then they justify later with logic. So the big purpose of the ATM system, and I love that Tanya pointed this out, because Tanya could go anywhere and crush it. How many of us would agree with that? Would you agree that she could go to any network marketing business and have success? But who cares if I'm making money, or Tanya's making money, or a leader's making money if their whole team is broke, or it's a ton of work, right? If it's a ton of work and it's super hard, super complicated, and it's hard to create duplication, what's exciting about that? Like, I don't really feel like I'm winning if I have to work really, 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 really hard to win, to make money. So the ATM system is like a 24/7 cash machine, kind of like an ATM where you get cash, you withdraw cash from the ATM, right? So that was kind of the play on words, add, tag, message. Your ATM groups, for some of you, it's going to take a little time to build them up, to make it so that it's exciting, so that they're effective. But eventually, the whole purpose of the ATM system is that you have a Facebook community, a private community, where people are able to add their prospects to the group to learn more about the products, learn more about the company, essentially close business, because there's stories, there's content that gives them the information they're looking for. It gives them the education, the information, so they can make a buying decision. And the beauty of it is that it's 24/7. It's like, how some companies, they do like weekly meetings or weekly Zooms where they promote the business, they close business. This is like 24/7, right? Because if you have a really good opportunity video or really good product testimonials, those are in there. So people are literally, like in some of our ATM groups, people are literally getting tagged in posts, videos, before and after pictures from 2, 3, 4 years ago. Think about how powerful that is. That someone shares a testimonial today that's helping drive sales, drive volume months and even years from now. Super powerful. So the ATM system essentially is a system that's for online duplication. All right, and we'll pull the slides up just so you can follow along. But really, the ACE system, right? The ATM system works if you do it right. So we're going to talk about how to set it up the right way. Here's some awesome testimonials. So we're giving you testimonials right now on the value of the ATM system, just like you'll have testimonials promoting your company and products inside of your ATM groups. So Mandy says, I just did my month-end review and my team added 121 new members this month. We grew 45% in just 1 month. Hashtag ATM for life. Holly says ATM system is the way. 12 new customers in 3 days using this strategy. Lynette says My husband and I were able to welcome 5 new teammates into our business, and we also qualified for a recruiting bonus we weren't even aware of. And the beauty is they didn't have to do 45-minute presentations like Tanya talked about. They didn't have to go do home presentations. How many of you used to do, or maybe you still do, home parties, home meetings, PBRs? Nadia and I used to do PBRs every night, private business receptions. It was exhausting. And the truth is, even if we were having success doing it, we were out every night. We were away from our kids. I started feeling like a bad dad. So I can tell you, ever since creating this ATM system, I think we first launched our ATM group in March of 2016. Maybe it was April of 2016. We had no idea if it was going to work. We were just going to test this out with our company. And since then, we've done over $100 million in sales, all on social media, without freeway calls, without home parties. You know, we're like number 88 in the world in all of network marketing as far as income earners, making 6 figures a month. We started making 6 figures a month back in February 2017. We've made over 6 figures a month every single month since then. And our organization has acquired over 300,000 new customers in the last 36 months. That's the power of this system. And more importantly, those of you that are leaders, you can build a smaller team and you can make more money. And most of your team will be making money if you follow this protocol. I also would like to point out that we've had the #1 team in our company 3 years in a row. So what that tells you is this isn't just working for us. Who cares if I'm making a bunch of money or team is making a bunch of money if our team is broke, our team isn't winning? Isn't that what it's all about? Right? It's all about helping other people. So this ad tag message formula, let me just show you what it looks like, okay? Because I want to start with basics, even if some of you already have. In fact, drop into the comments and let me know if you're already doing the ATM system in your company. How many of you have never heard of the ATM system? I'll try to comb through some of the comments here in a little bit, but ad tag message is what it stands for. Essentially, when you generate a lead and you turn that lead into a prospect, right? They're actually interested in more information. They express interest. The next step is to get them in this private Facebook group, a private community, so that they can learn more about the companies. So instead of inviting them to a home meeting, you're inviting them to the group. Instead of doing a 3-way call, you're getting them in the group. Instead of, hey, let's get together at Starbucks, let's do a Zoom call and I'll explain everything. We let the groups do the selling and telling. You want to have what's called a pinned post. Essentially, it's the same thing as we're doing with this video right now. This video is in the announcements post section of the group, right? So that's where your pinned post, your welcome post would be, where you'll have like an introduction to the group, kind of the purpose of the group, maybe a couple videos or whatever. And then the message part is you send them a follow-up message through Messenger. That's where you close business. Now, I will tell you, I do get on the phone still today with personal recruits when they request it. When someone just really wants to get on the phone with me, I will do it. I have some leaders, they never get on the phone with anyone ever, all right? So it's your choice. Sometimes for me, I do like to build a little connection. You know, I know Erin Birch is probably on here. She likes to do a 5-minute discovery call, you know, on Facebook Messenger. She'll call someone right there on Messenger, do a 5-minute call, pointing towards the tools. Sometimes, you know, I know leaders, they get hung up on 3-way calls. We do no 3-way calls. We do everything through Messenger. So I'll talk a little bit about that. But let's talk about the first part, which is attracting interested prospects. And we kind of already touched on this today. But essentially, the 3DW Facebook Live launch formula, the why, the what, the wow, that's helping create intrigue, right? You're the preview to the movie. Don't ruin the movie. Give them just enough so they're wanting more. Curiosity posts, right? You could do curiosity posts geared towards the product or the business. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Telling stories, also using Instagram and Facebook stories, Facebook Lives. You're attracting people by sharing value, by providing content that's helping people, all right? Daily active connecting. Like we talked about, you're a professional conversation starter. You need to get that into your daily routine. If you're not talking to 5, 10, 15 new people every day, you're really not networking. And we're network marketers, baby. We got to network. We got to build a network. We want to market our products to the network, right? It's interesting how many network marketers are great at selling, telling, pitching, spamming, but they don't learn how to market and they don't learn how to network. It's network marketing, not network marketing. I'm sure some of us have heard that old network marketing joke. Now, the Facebook private group. We do encourage you to have two different types of ATM groups, one for product promotion, one for business promotion. Why? Because the people interested in the products don't always want to look at a business or see anything about the business. They don't care about your comp plan, your car program. They just want to lose weight or use your product, whatever your product is. I know we got people selling oils and makeup and financial services, all these different things. So it makes sense to keep the group separate. Now, could you have one group that promotes the business and the products? Because it is in some ways less work. You could do that. I have people, we have students, clients, people on our team that use one group to expose people to the product and the business. I think it's better if you're just setting it up to have two separate groups, because one can really help you get customers. And part of what the FTC doesn't like, because I was in a company called Vima, they were shut down by the Federal Trade Commission. The reason they were shut down, you didn't have enough customers. They looked at it like a glorified pyramid scheme. Now, the company did go to court and they won. To some extent they won, but it took 18 months. They finally opened back up. They were decimated. And I see this happening in the industry. More and more companies are getting targeted. So if all you're doing, I want to be very clear about this. If all you're doing is promoting all the people joining your downline and joining your team and all the new people that are in your business, and you're not talking about product and you're not talking about customers, I'm just telling you, there is a possibility that you get in trouble with the FTC. And believe me when I tell you, you want to change that up real quick. Plus, here's what I found in my 18 years. Because I used to do heavy recruitment. I bet you, Tanya, probably the same thing, where we were trained, you lead with the business, and when someone says no, you get them as a customer. What I can tell you, and like I said, we sold over $100 million in the last 3 years. Our organization has had more success helping the average person create supplemental income, part-time, from home, leading with the product. Now, that doesn't mean they don't talk about the business. It just means when they're brand new, they focus on the product. They focused on acquiring customers. Think about it. If you started a restaurant, would you try to get other people to start a restaurant, or would you try to get customers to come eat at your restaurant? Common sense would tell you, when you start a new business, the first thing you're looking for are clients, customers. You're looking for people to come buy your stuff. You're not looking to find business partners and recruit other people to sell the same thing you're selling when you haven't even made a sale. So focus on the product, and this is why we keep the group separate. Again, it's your prerogative. It's just a suggestion. The other thing is it creates massive social proof. Once the group gets really big and you have enough people using it, like anything else, it's going to take time to build it up. But eventually, you're just collecting all of these testimonials and facts tell, stories sell. You heard that today. You can do recognition. You can share results. You can give shout outs. You can do interviews, promotions. It's literally the perfect drip campaign. And I want to show you. And also, again, in Unit 1, we're going to have a document on how to set up an ATM group, a 3DW launch, scripts, everything you need. So just a heads up on that. Because I know people sometimes are like, oh my gosh, there's so much good information. I need it all. We have it all structured in PDFs, but the training coupled with it is going to help you immensely. So let's talk about the announcements post, all right, that pinned post. I wish they kept it as pinned post. I don't like the word announcement as much, but whatever, it's Facebook. We gotta do what they want us to do. So this announcements post is typically where you're gonna pin your best stuff, your most relevant content. So for instance, a lot of times people will say, well, what are your top selling products? Or how's the comp plan work? How many of us have heard these types of questions when people are interested and they're kind of on the fence? You can have all your videos, your most important videos, your most viewed content in the pin post, the announcements post, and you could almost make it like a funnel, right? How many of us realize there's like internet marketers who use their email funnel, right, where they capture leads and then, eventually through their free content, they get people into, buying their stuff. That's how a lot of you are in this program right now. You're in this program because you probably came across one of my videos, Nadia's videos, Tanya's videos, Kathy and Jordan or Tanya or Marina, or Tanya, right? Michelle, Kimberly, some of them that have been promoting this, Bernie, Kate. You saw their free content, you started following them. Think of most of the people you follow right now you originally followed them and then opted into their email. So that's a funnel. This is a funnel that anybody can set up. You don't have to have fancy equipment, technology. You don't have to be an internet marketer, marketing guru. You just set up a group where you have this introduction post, and you're gonna fine tune it over time. But in the beginning, man, this is where you're adding every prospect and tagging them so they can start off in the group getting the most important information to help them make a buying decision. And let's give you some examples of what this can look like. So in a product group, obviously you can have your customers share before and after pictures. I want to also point this out if you're making notes. The group's purpose is to help you sell product. So yeah, you can do promotions and giveaways and live videos, all these things, but customer service stuff does not need to be, meaning if people are asking lots of questions, I wouldn't approve those posts. Those should be pointed towards a marketer, the person that added them to the group, customer service. Sometimes, like back in the day, we used to just have people just asking anything, posting anything, and it just caused a lot of confusion for the purpose of the group. It almost became like a customer support group, and that's not the purpose. The purpose of the group is to help you and your team acquire customers. So you want positivity, you want testimonials, before and afters, all that stuff. Obviously, these are weight loss examples. A lot of MLMs sell weight loss, but you know, whatever you're selling, whatever your product does, the benefits, that's what should be highlighted in the group. In the business group, you could do interviews of people that are building the business. You could do rank advancements, shout outs, recognizing people that are crushing it. Why? Because when you say, oh my gosh, you know, let's all welcome Susie to the team. She's a school teacher. She's just getting started. She's really excited to supplement her income through the summer, right? So now anybody that has a school teacher might see that post and be like, wow, I can relate to Susie. Let's say Susie starts rank advancing and acquiring her first few customers. You recognize, make note of this, you recognize what you want repeated. So by giving shout outs to Susie for getting her first few customers and, you know, following the system, I'll do this also in my team Facebook group. So you can do it there as well. But shout outs, recognition, welcome to the team, interviews, all of that can be done inside of your business community, helping you close more business, meaning recruit more people into your business, right? So that's the purpose of the two groups, right? You got one group for the purpose of getting customers, the other group is for the purpose of building a team. Now, there are scripts in Unit 1. You'll see scripts on leading with the product, promoting skincare or weight loss, or recruiting people, promoting the business. Obviously, we can't create a script for every type of product out there, but we just want to give you kind of a blueprint. Some of you might be selling different types of products, so you can tweak these scripts, but these are scripts that have been tested and proven. All right, you know, leading with the business, talking about, hey, I found a way to make money on Facebook. OMG, you got to see this thing. It's crazy exciting. Here's why I'm doing it. Write this down. Whether you're leading with the business, you're leading with the product. Talk about why you're doing it. But remember, people care more about what's in it for me. The reason you talk about why you're doing it or why you're excited about the product or business is because people will then immediately become selfish and think about their own selfish desires to lose weight, look younger, feel better, alleviate anxiety, make more money, supplement their income, pay off their debt, retire their spouse, live longer, feel better. You get it? Save money. What's up, baby? I see you over there checking me out. All right. So here's a really great script that I've been using, and I think it's powerful. Now, I'd also like to point out that sometimes we create scripts, but not for the purpose of you copy and pasting, because then you sound robotic and you don't sound like yourself. So make sure if like some of this doesn't sound natural to you, you tweak it so that it sounds more natural. But I'll tell you this, and I don't know if we talked about this yet. Tanya probably mentioned it, but use the audio clip. Use the audio recorder on your Facebook Messenger to send audio clips to people. So you can use the scripts, but say it versus type it. Make sense? How many of us ever send a prospecting message and we're like trying to like, we're typing in, it's like 4 sentences. We're like, oh, it doesn't sound good. You're deleting it. You're spending all this time trying to say the perfect words. Forget that nonsense. Use the audio. They hear your excitement, your tonality. And then here's how you follow up. You let them know, hey, Samantha, I wanted to follow up with you to see if you got a chance to check out the groups and watch any of the videos. I'd also like to introduce you to a few other individuals we work with. You're letting them know up front that you're going to be setting up a group chat, all right? That's a part of the process. It's letting them know, hey, I put you in this private group, and I tell people straight up, this is all you have to do. Make note of this. Write that down. You're telling people, all you have to do is what I'm doing with you right now. Adding people to the group and then setting up the group chat. You want to edify your leaders. You want to introduce everybody. So it's just, how many of you do three-way calls? It's the same thing, but you're doing it on Messenger, right? Christina says, I use the audio all the time. Yeah, I've been using that for years now. I started using that back in like 2014, and it used to freak people out. They're like, what is this? Did you get hacked? And then I'm like, hit the play button. It's okay. It's really me, right? And the cool thing is, look, you can save your audio clips. What I do is I take my audio clips, my best ones, or my best like copy and paste type messages, and I send them to myself. Did you know you can do that? You can send messages to yourself and have those to use over and over and over and over again. Super cool. We have hacks that we made. If there's like questions that you hear all the time and you know the answer, but you don't have to keep explaining it every time, make a resource, an audio, a copy and paste message you can share in those chats. Anyway, just little hacks and tips. Do I add them to my group chat my team is in? Heather, whenever I do a group chat with a prospect, I only add 2 to 4 other distributors that are on the team. You can add upline, sideline, downline. You just want your prospect to meet other people, but you don't add them to the team chat, no, because they're a prospect. They haven't said yes or no yet, right? So you want to introduce them to just a handful, just like you would on a 3-way call. You put your prospect on a 3-way call with your upline. Here, you can have multiple upline or sideline, downline. Look, maybe get an accountability group going. Get a group of you, 3, 4, 5 of you, where you all do group chats together. I have a lot of leaders that do that, and it's super powerful. Super powerful. So this is the message, like I said, this is so you're setting up the group chat. You're letting them know that's a part of the process. So you don't have to be an expert. Get yourself out of the way. And sometimes it's not about, whether, Tanya said this earlier, it's not about whether or not you know the answer to the question. It's about showing them the simplicity of the system. All right, so that's important. So as far as how to set up your ATM group, make sure you print out the complete guide to Facebook groups. Follow the steps that are in place. You're going to notice that there's some changes that they made recently. There's 3 types of groups now. Public, which means anybody can get into it. So you don't want a public group. Then there's private, visible, private, hidden. You really want private hidden. Why? Because then you can see who's adding who to the group. The problem with private visible is people can request to join. How are you going to know who added them? Now, you could have them answer a question, but then who's keeping track of all that? So that's where it becomes challenging. So it's better to have it private hidden. So the only way someone gets in is because they get invited. And then you have, maybe some membership approval, like a membership approval process. You don't really have to have a membership approval process if you're training people like, hey, you're making sure you're talking to people first. Remember, they have to accept the invite, stuff like that. But when it's private hidden, you're the one inviting them, or the people in the group are the ones inviting them. So if you train them up, you let people know, hey, look, we got to protect this group. We don't want to just add random people unless we talk to them first. Another really important thing, this is a big deal, is that with these private communities, it's all about integrity. If you don't make sure that the integrity is intact, it's going to cause a problem, right? Meaning if it's a free-for-all and anybody can sign up anybody in the group and there's no rules or regulations, then people are going to stop adding people to the group. So they need to know that if they add someone to the group, that person is not going to get prospected by someone else. So a lot of this is in this document, but I just kind of wanted to touch on that. And like I said, you really want to have some trained up admins that know, don't just approve every post, don't just approve everything in there. you know, the posts in the group really should be geared toward positivity and something that's helping the members in the group close business. You just want to do your best to monitor and train people on how to use the group the right way. All right. And I know we're going to get some questions on this. Nadia, the next slide is Q&A. So should I do Q&A now, or did you have anything else that we should add to it before we get into Q&A? And I don't know, Tanya, if you wanted to touch on anything as well, because I know I went through a lot.
No, I would do some things. So I was reading some of the comments coming in.
Okay.
There's going on today.
Oh, me too.
So I was reading some of the comments that, somebody says, what does ATM stand for? So that was on one of our previous slides, but it's add, tag, message. So that's about it. So here's, I'm going to give you guys like a 30,000 foot view of how you would use this. So you've got somebody that says, I am interested in more information. Yes, tell me more. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say, awesome. Let's say it's Nancy. I'm going to say, awesome, Nancy. I'm so excited to share with you some more information. I have this really powerful Facebook group that's private. I can add you to the group, and there's a couple of videos in there that will explain everything that you need to know. And there's some really cool stories in there that you probably want to check out and see. It'll probably take you about 15 or 20 minutes to go through some of the initial information. How soon can you carve out that time so I can put you into the Facebook group? So that's how I would actually initiate the invite into the Facebook group. So the Facebook group is my presentation tool. Your presentation tool is the Facebook group. And it's a private group. They can only be invited into the group by you. You need to add them, and then you give them clear instruction on where to go into the group and what to watch first. And you can tag them in like specific posts or specific videos once they've accepted the invite into the Facebook group, okay? So basically, what I was doing before was I had a video that I would share with people, and it was on like some random web page, and I would have to like text or message them that video, and like that's all they're seeing. There's no excitement of the group. There's no excitement of people winning and having results. And you know, think about like why back in the day in network marketing, when network marketing took hold like crazy, why it was so powerful back in the day is because, well, how did network marketing get presented normally? It was like hotel meetings, right? And there was like 50 or 100 people at these hotel meetings, and there was so much social proof. People were saying, yes, this is what it's done for me, or yes, this is what it's done for me. The modern day way now is inside of a Facebook group. And so whenever I add my prospects into these groups, they just are like, wow, this is huge, it's bigger than me. People are winning, they're seeing results, people are getting added to the groups and all this. And so yes, we are using company videos inside of the groups. And for the longest time, we even just had a couple of YouTube video links in there because we didn't have the videos, but now we've got the videos, and the videos are posted there. But there's like 2 or 3 videos at the very top of the announcement post. And you can basically just have those there and then tell your prospects, hey, go look at those videos. And so, hold on a second, I'm gonna see if, there we go, I added you back. Hold on a sec. Yeah, so go look at those videos. So we're using the ATM group as the presentation tool, and the entire team is using the ATM group as the presentation tool. So once somebody says, yeah, Tanya, I can take a look at the information tonight, then I go, okay, great. I'm going to add you as a friend here on Facebook, because I have to walk them through this process, right? So you have to be friends with the person on Facebook to put them into the group. So I'm gonna tell them, I say, look, I'm gonna send you a friend request. So let me know once you've accepted that so I can add you to the group. And then they say, okay, great, I've accepted your friend request. And then I go into the group, I add them into the group, and then I come back to Messenger and say, hey, I just added you to this group, and I actually share with them the link of the group so that they can easily find it. Yes, they'll get notifications. You guys know what happens in Facebook, notifications go pretty fast. So what I do is I say, hey, listen, I just added you to this group, and I tell them the name of it. I said, you might get a notification that here's the link to the group, just so you have it. Go there and accept the invite, and I'll tell you which videos that you want to watch based on the information that I know that you want to gather in there. You're gonna love it. It's super exciting. There's so much going on in there that I think you'll find value in. And then what I do is on my list of my prospect list that I'm keeping track of all my prospects, beside Nancy's name, I'm going to say added to ATM group on March 29th, follow up March 30th or later that evening or whatever. So then when I sit down and I look at all my prospects list and where people are in the process, I know I added Nancy to the ATM group and I got to go follow up with her in Messenger. And that's going to bring us, we'll do a little bit of Q&A on ATM right now, and then we're going to go into how we follow up to make the sale and close. Okay, so that's like the 30,000 foot view. And this is the actual group, you guys. By the way, you are talking about your product. You are talking about your business. You are saying the name of your company. You are saying the name of your products. It's no longer hidden. They're in the group. They're getting presented to. You don't hide the information there. They're learning the information of your company or your products. So I hope that makes sense. So we'll do a little bit of a Q&A. John, do you see anything there that we need to address before moving to the next portion of the process?
Yeah, I feel like most of these questions were answered. There is one thing I'd like to add too, just the new process. It's not that new, but it's been about 6 months now. When you add somebody, they do have to approve the invite to the group, and I like that because then they're a serious person. They're really wanting the information. And as far as like follow-ups and stuff like that, Aiden, we're going to get into follow-ups for sure. And anything that you missed on the slide deck, we'll upload the slide deck in unit 1 once we're done with the training, so you guys can go back through it. And one question that we do get often, I've seen it kind of different versions of it. If somebody should start an ATM group if they're new, in my opinion, no. If you're brand new and you're literally no one on your team, maybe talk to your upline or sideline. You guys might want to start like a customer ATM group in the beginning. It is a little tough if you literally are brand new to get into doing that stuff. I'd rather you focus on like the company system and then set up your own ATM group. There's probably some others that would have a different opinion. I just feel like when you're a brand spanking new, like let's focus on making you some money and building up your foundation, your customer base, your team. But start identifying those best tools, the best testimonials, and maybe even create the group, but just don't start using it just yet until you get some other people helping facilitate and add to it. I just know when someone's brand new, sometimes they get caught up in busy work versus productive work. And I would rather you focus on making money first and then setting it up. But for most of us that have been around a little bit, I would say set it up ASAP.
If your company has an ATM group that they're running and it's working and it's part of your process, stay with that process. There's no reason really for you to go and I'll be honest, like there's some people on our teams that have decided to start using their own ATM groups. We've got corporate that runs ATM groups for us. I still plug everything into corporate if I can. I try not to recreate the wheel on anything because it's just leverage. It's easier. So if you have that privilege, if it's working for you, keep doing what's working. Don't recreate the wheel. If you don't have that opportunity yet, I'll tell you what, guys. I was in a company that didn't talk about ATM at all. You just didn't know it existed, and it just wasn't a thing yet over there. And I learned about ATM from John. And I was like, this is really cool. I'm going to try to model it for our team with my company. And so we started to do that, and it started to work. And it basically is just a one-stop place. This is what I just think about it. It's this really great place that you can put your prospects to get the information, and then have it be like a automatic drip campaign for them. What we mean by automatic drip campaign is that anytime new information gets put into the group, the prospect will get a notification. Hey, this new thing happened in this group. Hey, this new thing happened. So here's the cool thing. I put people into our ATM groups. They said maybe no, not right now. Totally forgot about them.
Right.
John for an interview in the group, a top producer spotlight or a product spotlight, and and my prospect will get a ping on it, and they'll see the new information, and then I'll get a message out of nowhere from somebody saying, hey, I saw this thing and now I'm interested. So it's automatic drip campaign as leverage for you, because anytime new stuff gets put into the Facebook group, they see it. If they don't remove themselves from the group, they're just in the group, and most people don't remove themselves from the group. So it's great social community for them to get dripped on information, and the average person needs to see something 7 to 10 times before they make a buying decision, so it serves that purpose perfectly, right? And so, you know, and if you're creating your own Facebook group, and there's a really good guide in the group, guys, but, you know, just follow it. It gives you the steps, it gives you our recommendations on it if you want to create your own. And, you know, you're not going to, what was I going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, yes, as well. Whenever you add somebody to the group, it shows who added who to the group. The group settings show that.
Right.
So you actually see who's producing on your team, who's adding people to the group, and you can reach out to them and give them a shout out and say, oh my gosh, I noticed that you're adding so many people to the group and you're doing all these presentations. Congratulations, it's super awesome. You do so many things. And the things that you want to post in the group are things related specifically to your company and or products, okay? Also, highlight interviews of people who are having success with the product or success with the business, testimonials, new people joining, new customers joining, all the things that you know that are going to pique someone's interest if a prospect's in there paying attention and watching, right?
I'd also like to talk about the fact that a group is a community. So sometimes we kind of forget that it's like a neighborhood. You want everyone to participate, right? It's a virtual neighborhood, so you really want others posting and chiming in and sharing stories and engaging in the group. So it shouldn't be that. Now, of course, in the beginning it might be, but eventually you want to have other admins, moderators, other individuals helping with the group. There are lots of great questions. We'll probably do a Q&A post for you guys as well, but I saw one person ask, can you tag them before they've accepted the invite? No. You can't, I mean, you could tag them, but they're not going to get the alert until they're actually in the group. And like Tanya said, you can see who's adding people to the group as long as the group is hidden and it's not visible. If it's visible, people can then request to join. And when they request to join, you're not going to see who added them unless you have a question that they have to answer. Hope that makes sense. My upline has a group, it's all in English. Listen, if you have other languages, you can create units for those other languages, which is super awesome. So you can have a French unit, a German unit, a Spanish unit. Would you make the prospecting product group different from the client group? Joe, you don't necessarily have to. I'm always careful to give you guys too much responsibility and too much work. Now, if you're making $100 grand a month and you're killing it, and this is all you do, sure, yeah, you can have a client group and an ATM group, right? But for most of us that are part-time, it's hard enough to run one group and keep it going and keep it exciting and keep people engaged and use that group, let alone having a client group, a business group, a team group. It's just everybody's kind of in different places in their business. I think you have to use your resources in the beginning just to get one group up and running, 2 at the most, and they should only be for the purpose, like Tanya said. These are literally the groups where they're going to find out more information about the company. There's no more curiosity at this point. Once they're in the group, they are a prospect going through the sales process. They should know the name of the company, the products. They should get all the questions answered to help them make a buying decision. So I hope some of that helps. How often should we post in the group? If you have other people posting in there a lot, then your responsibility to post in there all the time is not as relevant. But I think something should go in there at least once a day. In the beginning, you're probably going to have a tough time getting engagement unless you just immediately put hundreds of people in there. So ask questions, do free, like a 5-day water challenge, a 5-day planking challenge, a sugar-free challenge. Like, find ways to keep people excited and giving other people in the group an excuse to add their friends and family. product giveaways, all kinds of fun things you can do. Michelle, yeah, you can do training. I look at it like this. When I want to sell something, I lead with training. I lead with educating. It's so much easier to sell something when I don't look at it as selling. I look at it as educating them to help make that buying decision. Rita, should I have public figure page? Rita, for right now, I'm going to answer that question with a no. Could you do that later? Absolutely. There's nobody better teaching business pages and that high-level stuff than Tanya Eliza. For you to build a network marketing business, get the ball rolling, create success, absolutely not. I have people on my team that make multiple six figures. They don't have a business page, so that's not something you have to have. Estella says, can people comment freely? Yeah, they can comment on anything they want. Posting in the group? No. Commenting, yes. However, you do have to police it sometimes. You'll get someone that does a before and after. You'll get these nasty people that might say, oh, I think you looked better before. Now you're all skin and bones, or, you know, perverts, weirdos. I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff go down. The good news is they're very obvious, and somebody just has to hold the comment down. A little message will pop up to report it. You report the comment. The admins not only remove the comment, but boot that person out. That does happen sometimes. And let's answer two more questions, then we'll move on to the next segment. Does that sound good, Tanya? Cool. All right. Kathy says, how can I appear as the leader when I add and tag people into someone else's group, company groups, or other teams? You don't have to be a leader. You don't have to be a leader by title. Does that make sense? We're in network marketing. As soon as you step into the role of a leader, even if you're just leading yourself in the beginning, you're a person of one, you're a team of one, you're the only person responsible for your income. You are a leader when you make a decision. Leadership is a decision. You don't have to be a top producer, a top earner. I've got people in my business, they're brand new, and they started adding people to the ATM groups, and they got their first couple customers and their first couple distributors literally in the first 24 to 48 hours plugging into the system. You don't have to be a leader. And then there was one last question. Can I add my own Facebook Live video in the announcements? Yes, 100%. I do Facebook Live classes for my customers, or should it just be company-made videos? No, Kelly, you could do, it doesn't even have to be a Facebook Live. It can just be a pre-recorded video. You upload it, 5-minute, 10-minute little intro video. I will tell you, shorter is better, right? People's attention spans these days, like, instead of doing one 30-minute video, it would be better to do 3 10-minute videos. Make sense? All right, we got to move on. There's lots of great questions. We'll do a post maybe regarding ATM questions, and we'll pop in there and try to answer some of those. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's get into follow-up and closing, baby. My favorite.
Yeah, we'll make sure that you guys feel confident with all of those in a little bit. We'll keep it rolling just because we had some tech issues. We're running a little bit later than normal today, and we apologize for that. I hope it's okay if we just continue to pour in value. We got an agenda that we need to accomplish with you guys. So just think about it holistically right now, what we've done today, right? What we've done is we've shown some examples on posting to get engagement, how to start conversations with those people that you're engaging with, and then how to transition those conversations into asking if they're open. And now we have some way to move them into a presentation. Now, if you do not have an ATM group that you're using for your presentation, that doesn't mean that you can't present, right? For now, if you don't have an ATM group, what you want to do is just use whatever presentation format you've been using or has been working in your company. Don't steer right or left on that. And then on your good idea notepad would be start an ATM group if you think that's going to be beneficial in your business. And it will be eventually. You want to add that for sure. This is just our way and how we've provided a lot of leverage and duplication inside of our team. So now we know how to take the conversation and present to those people, right? And we're doing crazy overview today. And then moreover, we're going to get into like nitty gritty, like more how to post, what to say, and how to close. But what happens when you put somebody into the ATM group? You do the ad, you do the tag, you do the message. Now what do you do to follow up with them and close them into a sale? That's what we're going to go over in our next section. Here, John, are you ready? I'm doing this training, but are you ready? All right, so let's get organized here. Hold on one sec. And then we will do here like this. Nope, I don't like that one. Do here. No, I don't like that one either. I don't know how to operate. How did you? Okay, one sec. There we go. Boom. Okay. All right, you guys. So there are scripts on follow-up and all of that good stuff. The scripts and guides on follow-up and closing inside of the unit section. And you guys, in the comment section, just share your love for all of these resources that we put together for you guys, because honestly, I am absolutely blown away by all of them. So you guys, this is going to give you what you need to really take it home. Okay, so we're going to make sure that in there you have our follow-up and closing guide. So a lot of these things that are going over in this slide, I guess Patty's going to post the slides for you guys, which is awesome and super cool as well. But you get a detailed explanation in the guides and PDFs, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about objection handling, but we also have a more in-depth scripting guide about objection handling. And objections are just questions. If people have questions or objections, it's actually a really good thing. And we need to be professional and need to know how to navigate those as well, okay? So here's, again, picture this. I've added somebody to the group. Somebody said, yes, Tanya, I'm interested, tell me more. I go, oh my gosh, it's so awesome. I've got this really exciting Facebook group that you're gonna love. It's got all the information in there that'll explain absolutely everything. How soon you have about 15 minutes to check it out, and we'll have to get you added in there so you can look at all the excitement. I can take a look at it later tonight. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna add you to the group. You guys notice that when I'm messengering people, you can either do this voice or you can do a text, doesn't matter. I'm telling them what the next step is, and I'm very clear in baby stepping them throughout the whole process, okay? So I'm telling them, okay, here's what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna add you to this. And then what I like to do is I like to have them say, like when I say, hey, how soon can you carve out 15 or 20 minutes? And they say, I can do that tonight. I go, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Add you to the group. And then since you can take a look at the information tonight, I'm gonna follow up with you tomorrow morning here on Messenger. And I'm gonna see if you have any questions and I'm gonna get some feedback from you. Is that cool? So I'm telling them, hey, here's what we're gonna do next after I do this with you. And so it's better than just throwing somebody the information and then not telling them what the next step after that is going to be. You're gonna have a much better chance of that follow-up happening in a favorable way. Whether it's a yes or a no, they're still gonna keep getting back with you. There's a lot of people that say, well, this person didn't get back with me, or they're not answering my messages. It's like, okay, well, we didn't tell them what we were gonna be doing next, so maybe they just didn't know, right? So you wanna follow up immediately after the presentation. So somebody in the comments here asked earlier, Tanya, how do you keep track of your prospects or everybody that you're ATMing? I don't care how you do it. For me personally, I keep it old school. I've got a Google sheet. It's like an Excel spreadsheet. It's 2 columns. It's so dang simple. It literally has the person's name, and then it has notes of where they are in the process. So my notes are like chicken scratch. I'm like, added Nancy, ATM Nancy, March 28th, need to follow up March 29th or whatever. And then when I go through that list, I go, oh, I need to follow up with Nancy. I put her into the group. So I go to my messenger, I find Nancy and I's conversation, and then I go, okay, what do did she get back with me? Okay, no, she didn't get back with me yet. I need to get back with her. So then I want to just make sure that she's watched the videos or she's gathered the information. So that would be my pro tip, is set the appointment and expectation before you even give them the presentation or you add them into the group. Okay, that's gonna help with your follow-up. It's gonna tighten it up a little bit, and that's what you really want. And then what you do is you just confirm that they've watched the presentation. So my first message would be, you know, hey Nancy, just wanted to check in as promised. Did you get a chance to absorb the information that I added you to in the Facebook yet, or at least a little bit of it, right? And you're looking for a yes. And if they said, oh no, I haven't yet, kids, life, everything got in the way, then I'm just gonna say, no problem, that's totally cool. Do you know when you'll be able to have a look at it so I know when to follow up next and make sure that your questions are answered? Okay, so that's how I handle it. You don't really want to go into the next thing until you know that they've absorbed the information, at least a little bit of it inside of the group. Okay, and then restate what they told you they wanted and pin it down. So sometimes if you know that they came from a curiosity post where you know that they wanted to get information about losing weight, and maybe you were talking to them a little bit about their fitness goals or their weight loss goals, I might reiterate that back and be like, hey, I know that you told me that you wanted to X, Y, Z, so I'm gonna actually even tag you in this video over here, and it's about this, and it could be related to exactly what they want. So sometimes in the follow-up conversation, if I know a little bit about them, if you've had that human interaction and conversation with them before, then sometimes I'll even reiterate that at this point too, to kind of get them back on track with, hey, this is the thing that's gonna help you with what you told me that you wanted. It's a little bit of a pro tip as well, okay? So there's also follow-up after some time has passed, okay? So let's say you forgot about them, because people have done this. I've done this too. I've ATM somebody or put them into a Facebook group to get the information, and I've forgotten about them, or maybe they just kind of ignored you, and you sent them the message, hey, did you get a chance to watch those videos or the information that I sent you? And then say, they don't get up with you, like they don't say anything, they ghost you. This happens with me all the time too. It'll happen with you. It's just part of the process, right? So maybe again, I'll say, hey, I know that you told me that you wanted to, drop 10 pounds before bikini season hits around the corner. I'd really love to help you do that. We've got some really exciting things happening in that group that I added you to. Did you get a chance to see them? All right. So again, what did you want? What did you want? Also think about any new information that you can share. Maybe you have new products or new content that was posted in the group or a new success interview that was done. And this is why I think it's important to go into your ATM group periodically to look at the new information and then look at your prospect list and your list of people and see, okay, what could I share with them that's new information inside of this group that might respark or repeat their interest, all right? So just think about that. And then what you can also say is there anything standing in your way right now from us circling back around and getting this party started? So maybe it's funny on Facebook Messenger, right? Like you can see when somebody sees your message. Some of you know you're being ignored or not. And gosh, I'm like, it hurts. People are ignoring me. But, you can just kind of respark. And then there's a couple of things that you do. Like people ask, well, Tina, how many times do you send messages after being ignored? And typically I'll send maximum 3 messages. And then I'll just tell them, hey, listen, I hope you're getting my messages. I hope everything is okay. I didn't want to let anything fall through the cracks with our conversation and with some of your goals that you have. But it looks like right now might not be the right time. I'm just gonna cross you off my list for now. But if anything changes, please, please, please let me know. I'd love to help you with what you told me that you wanted. So really I kind of have like a 3-message rule. And after 3 messages, they're seeing my messages, they're not responding back. I leave it very nicely open because again, you never know what can happen in people's lives and when they'll be open again. I'm never rude, I'm never like, mean, not like any of you guys would be, but I leave the door always open with my prospects, okay? So here's in the prospecting and follow-up and closing script book that you guys are gonna get, you'll see that I've got this message as well that I like to use. So, if they're not answering you, here's exactly the mode that I'll use. I'll be like, hey, I'm just checking in. I obviously don't want to feel like I'm bugging you with checking in and not hearing back from you. Were you serious about, shedding those 10 pounds before bikini season hits? Or not really? So those, it's a question that I'll ask them, kind of reiterating what they told me that they wanted. And then I'll just say, hey, it's totally cool either way. I just didn't want this conversation to slip through the cracks if you were serious. you know, it's like, hey, I'm just checking in, I'm being a good person. Personally, for me, you guys, I love when people follow up with me because I am so busy like everybody else. And there might be something that I truly, really want. And I just haven't.